You promised a whole family crowded into one lantern's glow, and this window shows me night.
We have arrived, but the star we came for is too dim to shout.
We crossed 40 light-years for a star I cannot even see.
From Earth, no unaided eye has ever found it.
A star that hides.
Give the golden eye a moment. Patient tools see what hurried eyes miss.
There you are, little ember.
And around that ember, more rocky worlds than any star we know keeps.
Vega and Qubit, and the star that keeps 7. Start with the star because it looks barely bigger than a planet.
Your eye is sharp. This whole star is scarcely bigger than Jupiter.
A star the size of a planet. How is that allowed?
Weight makes a star, not width. This body packs 80 times Jupiter's heft. Squeeze that much into that little room and the core lights the same fire as the sun.
So it really is a star, just the smallest kind.
The smallest and coolest kind, so its surface glows ember orange instead of gold. For every 2,000 candles the sun burns, this star burns about 1.
No wonder the window kept it secret.
Yet it is nearly next door. Its light reaches us after about 40 years.
40 years. So the light arriving tonight left when my grandparents were young.
A short letter as starlight goes, and we only learned to read it 10 years ago. A modest telescope in Chile caught its light dipping in a steady heartbeat.
Shadows, worlds crossing their star's face, just like the star that blinked.
Exactly. And within a year of watching, the dips confessed to 7.
7 worlds around one tiny star. Where do they all fit?
Closer than you would guess, the family huddles nearer its star than Mercury hugs the sun.
All 7 of them inside Mercury's little path?
With room to spare, the most tightly packed family of worlds ever found.
Hugging that close to the sun, they would all be cinders.
Around the sun, yes, but remember the just right distance.
Dim, cool stars wear their bands close in.
So this faint star wears its band close in, and 3 of the 7 rest inside it.
3 worlds where water could stay liquid.
Could? The band writes an invitation, and an invitation is no guarantee.
I remember the rule.
Now, my favorite part. Worlds this close run their years at a sprint. On the innermost world, a full year, 1 whole lap takes a day and a half.
A year and a day and a half? I would never stop having birthdays.
240 a year if you insist on cake each time.
And the farthest of the 7?
The lazy one. Its whole year is shorter than 3 of your weeks. Everyone roughly Earth-sized and rocky, some smaller, some bigger, all solid ground.
A whole shelf of almost Earths next door. Packed that tight, can the worlds see each other?
Better than see. From one surface, the next world over can loom larger than your moon.
A whole neighbor world hanging in the sky like a painted moon. Neighbors that close must feel each other.
They do. Every world tugs its neighbors, hurrying one, holding back another. Those tugs nudge each shadow crossing early or late, and nudges can be timed.
So the shadows carry timing, and timing tells how the worlds push each other.
How hard a world pushes tells its weight. We weighed all 7 without seeing one.
Weighed by their shadows, the hunt keeps getting sneakier.
There is music too. The orbits keep time in small whole numbers. While one world runs 3 laps, its neighbor runs almost exactly 2.
7 worlds drumming a rhythm around their little star.
The steadiest family rhythm we have found anywhere in the sky.
Living that close must cost the world something.
It costs them their spin. Huddle that close and the star's pull grips a world until one face stays toward the light.
One face always in daylight, and the other never.
So we think, one side in day that never ends, the other in night that never lifts.
How does a world just stop turning?
The same gravity tamed a face you know. Our moon shows Earth one face, always.
The moon is locked too. I never noticed I only meet one side of it.
Locking is what patient gravity does to close companions. These 7 did it together.
What would it feel like on the day side?
A deep orange sun, far wider than yours, fixed in one spot, never rising, never setting.
A sun that never moves, noon as a permanent address.
Between them lies border country, where the star rests on the horizon and evening stays.
A land where sunset is a place you walk to, not a time you wait for.
Strange to us, ordinary to them, every world wears its own normal.
Band worlds, years like weeks, sunsets that stay. So which one do we move to?
Now the honest part of this adventure, because the little star has a temper.
A temper?
Small red stars crackle with sudden bursts of light and wind. And this family lives right inside that weather.
So the question is whether worlds that close keep their air.
The question of the decade, and you already know the trick for asking it.
When a world crosses its star, a sliver of starlight filters through the rim of its air. We can read its breath.
So the golden eye turned to this family, and the innermost two answered first. Their heat reads like bare, sun-baked stone, almost certainly no thick blanket of air.
2 of the 7 bear.
Honest news is still news, and the band worlds have not answered.
What about their slivers of starlight?
There we hit the subtraction problem, because this star will not hold still.
Subtract the star, keep the air.
But a crackling star keeps changing the very light you are subtracting. Its own flicker can fake a whisper of air where there is none. One whisper appeared on a band world, and rechecking traced it more likely to the star.
A hint, not an answer. The rule follows us everywhere.
It is a good rule, so this family's standing is beautifully undecided. Whether any of the 7 kept air, let alone water, let alone more, is truly open. Crossing by crossing, sliver by sliver, this is the hunt happening live.
I wanted 7 new Earths, and I might be getting 7 beautiful bare stones.
Then let me hand you the part of this story that nobody expects. I told you once that 5 billion years from now, the sun swells into a red giant.
The star that is only halfway, I remember.
This little lantern will attend the sun's goodbye, then glow for trillions of years more.
Trillions, with a T?
The smallest stars sip fuel so slowly that this one outlasts the sun hundreds of times over.
The faintest star we ever visited is the most enduring thing we ever visited.
Smallness was never weakness here. It is the reason for the long, long life.
So when our sun has said goodbye, this ember will barely have started.
Barely cleared its throat. And if anything ever takes hold on those 7, it has almost forever to try. Before we dream too far, let me square the books. No one has photographed any of these surfaces, not one mountain, not one shore.
Everything tonight came from dips and tugs and slivers of light.
Sizes from shadows, weights from timing, air and open page, careful drawings, all of it.
And the not knowing is not the sad part. It is the to-do list.
Do you see what you have learned 3 adventures on?
We started with the star that blinked and learned a dip of light is a whole world. Then the just right distance, where the band invites but never promises. Then the colors that went missing when we learned to read a world's breath.
And tonight, a whole family weighed and timed and questioned. The hunt taught you sight.
And from one of those 7, our sun is one more yellow point in somebody's night. The hunt is closed, so where does the golden eye point now?
At the zoo, now that we can find worlds, it is time to meet the strange ones. Worlds hot enough to melt rock into cloud where the rain may fall as molten glass.
Worlds stranger than storybooks. If 7 worlds around one lantern rearranged your brain, subscribe, the zoo is opening.
Setting course for the strange ones.
See you out there, explorers.